Hey guys, it's KLASMR, and we're back with another video. Today I thought that I'm gonna give you some positive affirmations, just some things that I think of or that I thought of when I just need to say something to myself to get me back into a good place, or I need to say something to myself to bring me back down and keep me grounded or whatever. But I know that people will say things with good intentions, but it's kind of like, what do you mean? You know? So I'm gonna say them and then try and put it into my own words and an explanation to make it more easily accessible and easily understood, and just something that you can take with you and actually use. But yeah, and before we do that, I think I just want to take some deep breaths with you guys, because with the words that are said to myself, something that I've learned to do as I've gotten older is to just take a breath and take a break. So let's just do that together, and then we can get right into it. So as we breathe in, I'm going to lift my hands up, and then as we breathe out, I'm going to bring them down. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do 3 of those. So let's just start on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. And as we finish our deep breaths, the AC also takes a deep breath with us. Okay. So, to start off, I give myself permission to do what is right for me. I give myself permission to do what is right for me. And let's just say it together on this one. I give myself permission to do what is right for me. Okay. What I take that as is, nobody knows you like you do. Nobody on this earth knows exactly what you've been through, what you think on a daily basis, what you want for yourself in the future, and just what things mean to you. Nobody knows those things. So, as the person with that information, you are the only person who can truly choose what is right for you. Of course, you can take people's advice and whatever else, But with everything that you see and hear, you just have to take it with a grain of salt, because people are only speaking from their experience and what they've known to work for them. What people tell you that's worked for them will not necessarily work for you. And that doesn't mean that what they're saying is wrong either. It just means that you have to find what works for you. And only you will know what feels right. Only you know what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. So if somebody's telling you something that makes them feel good, but it makes you feel bad, then don't do it, you know? And also, everything that I say in this video goes without saying that the things that you do need to not harm others, because unfortunately there's people out there who do bad things and that makes them feel good, and we're not talking about those things. The things that affect you alone and make you feel good, and if they also make somebody else feel good, then that's even better. But if it makes them feel bad, then let's stray away from those things. But yeah, I give myself permission to do what is right for me. Only you know you, so only you know what you need to do. On to the next one. This is number 2. This is number 2. This one that I'm saying right now is number 2. I allow myself to be who I am without judgment. I allow myself to be who I am without judgment. 1, 2, 3. I allow myself to be who I am without judgment. And what that means to me is, in this life that we are living, unfortunately, everybody is going to judge everything. You may not think that you are a judgmental person, but whether it's a positive judgment or a negative judgment, we do have a tendency to put labels on things, judge things, and base our assumptions on things based off of the outward appearance that things have. Because, being an animal, not an animal literally, but being this living thing, we make these quick judgments to protect ourselves from danger. And that's just the way that we're built. But with that being said, as you go out in life, people are going to make assumptions about you. They're going to make their quick judgments about you, and they're going to think things about you that most likely aren't even true. And you can do nothing, or you can do something completely outrageous, and people will still have some kind of judgment about you. But knowing that, you have to protect yourself from these judgments and from the judgments that you place on yourself. Again, you are you. And you are with yourself all of the time, and you will continue to be with yourself for the foreseeable future and the rest of your life. So, if you are constantly judging everything that you do, claiming it as good or bad, you can't live happily or a good life, you know? Because you you're constantly like, I personally overanalyze a lot of things, but yeah, like you just have to do. It sounds very vague, but when you are yourself, the things that you do are aimed at towards what you're trying to get to, and that is it. The things you do are not necessarily good or bad, because if it were a different person, you may interpret your actions as a completely different thing. So, you, when you see a character in a movie, you automatically assume that's the good guy or the bad guy. But when you're talking about yourself, you can't do that, because judgments aside, we do make good decisions and we make bad decisions. But when it's us, they're just decisions. They're just decisions that are leading us closer to our goal. So constant judgment of ourselves it's not helpful. And if anything, it's the opposite of that. So, yeah. Okay. So, we are going to move on to number 3. This next one that we're going to do is number 3. This is the third one. I am more than what people think I am, and my thoughts do not shape my life's shape. Sorry. Let's just leave it at I am more than what people think I am. I am more than what people think I am. I am more than what people think I am. And honestly, that goes right along with the other one, the last one that we just did. People are going to have thoughts about you, whether you do something or not. And even if you do something, they could take it positively or they can take it negatively. You have no way of knowing what somebody thinks that your actions mean. You can have the greatest intentions or the worst intentions, and people will not know what you're thinking and what you meant by what you're doing. So it's important to not let people's thoughts of you control how you act, because people's thoughts are just their assumptions about you. Again, they don't know what you've been through, they don't know what you think, they don't know what your goals are. They don't. So how can they properly assess the kind of person that you are? Especially when most of the time we don't even know what kind of person we are. We are just people. So people's caricatures of you or labelings of you, they don't really mean anything in the grand scheme of like how you should live your life. So we'll go ahead and move on to number 4. This one is the 4th positive affirmation in this positive affirmation video. This one is number 4. I am a work in progress, and I welcome every positive change. I am a work in progress, and I welcome every positive change. And I'll go ahead and say this to you, and everything that I've said before also applies to you, obviously. But let me spell it out. You are a work in progress, and you welcome every positive change. What I take that to mean is that every day is a learning experience, and everybody says that, but it's true. We, even if you do the exact same thing every day, this day in particular, you did it one more time than you did yesterday. You have a little bit more knowledge about what you're doing today than you did yesterday, because yesterday was the 399th time you did it, but today is the 400th time. Before, you would have only been able to say that you've done it 399 times, but today you can say that you've done it 400 times. Now, not everybody does the same thing every day, but even more so in those scenarios. If you do different things every day, you are learning something different every day. You know, let's take like when you were younger, you know way more stuff, and you are way more able to make choices in life because you have way more life experience than you did when you were younger. Even if you don't feel like you personally learned a new skill or actually learned new information, like read a book or something, you have experienced life one more day than you have the day before. And you can use that to your advantage. You are more knowledgeable about the life that you live than you were before. Every time you practice something, you have practiced it one more time than you did the time before. And that is important because now every time that you do it after this, that is one more time. When you first started doing something, that was the first time that you did it. Now, 15 times later, this is the 16th time that you've done whatever that you're doing. And you are way better at whatever you're doing than you were the first time. I am a work in progress, and I welcome every positive change. We are always learning something every day. Every single day is an opportunity to learn. And even if you feel like you don't take that opportunity, you have learned something new. When you talk to your friend today, you learned something about them that you didn't know before. And I am a work in progress, and I welcome every positive change. Even like not taking the opportunity, scratch that. You learn something regardless of whether you try to or not. But that potential to grow and become greater is amplified when you actually go after learning something new. When you make it a mission to learn something new. That's even more knowledge than the bare minimum that you're already getting no matter what. And another meaning to I am a work in progress and I welcome every positive change You are growing. You are one day older than you were yesterday. You are one day more comfortable in your body and your skin than you were yesterday. We are all learning to be more in tune with our bodies as each day goes on. It's we're always growing. We are always changing, no matter what. Even if you don't feel like you are changing, something about you is different than the day before. Your 80-year-old grandpa, even if you are 80 years old, you are changing every day. And that's amazing. We are never the same as when we were before. And that is beautiful. And you should take pride in that. And don't look at it as you are never a complete work of art. Take it as you are always able to add something to yourself and to become better. You always have that possibility to become greater than you were before. And that's amazing. Okay. With that, we are gonna go ahead and move to number 5. This is the 5th positive affirmation in this positive affirmation video. This is number 5. I forgive those who have harmed me, and I peacefully detach from them. I forgive those who have harmed me in the past and peacefully detach from them. I forgive those who have harmed me and peacefully detach them from my past. Okay, so here's what that means to me. Obviously, there's the religious thing of forgiveness and all of that, but people tend to think that it's for the person that you're forgiving to make them feel better about what they've done to you. And truthfully, to me, that's not what it's for. When you let go of hatred and anger towards somebody, you are freeing yourself and allowing yourself to live a happier life. When we hold on to somebody's wrongdoing of us, it causes us to be jaded, and it gives us this justification to treat others badly, or to feel justified for being angry with the world. And that's, while you are human and you will be forgiven as well, it's not an excuse, because you are able to choose the path of forgiveness, and you are able to live a happier life. You can't live a happy life holding on to these grudges and these things that have been done to you, because with you holding it on, you are weighing yourself down. You're remembering that. You're leaving that for your brain to remember, when you could forget about that, and it could almost be as if it never happened. Obviously, there are extremes to this, and they may never be forgotten. But again, it's not for them, it's for you. You must, you have to forgive and drop those grudges to move forward and to be able to move on. You can't move on while also holding on. So when you think about forgiveness, think about it for yourself. And it is to help you be happier, not for the other person necessarily, while they may feel better knowing that they have been forgiven. Okay, and with that, this is number 6. This is the 6th positive affirmation in the positive affirmation video. This one is number 6. And this one, I have to tell myself all the time. And before I tell you this one, if you feel that your shoulders are tensed or any part of your body is tensed, go ahead and let go. Number 6 is to let go of the need of control. Now, people see me and usually I'm pretty chill. But like some other people, I have a bad tendency to feel like I need control of what's happening to me and the people around me. And that is not only not a healthy way to live, but it is also not possible. There is no way to be in control of what happens to you. Now, there's manifestation, there's hopeful wishing, there's all of that. But at the end of the day, the truly only things that you can control are your thoughts and what you do. Those are the only things that you can control. And to me, that kind of gives me a sense of relief, because you think back to all the times somebody's hurt your feelings, or you've been put in a hard situation and you have to find your way out. It's not your fault. What somebody does to you is not your fault. You can't control what somebody does. You can only control the way that you take it and what you do with that. It is like, it is just so important to acknowledge that, because knowing what you don't have control over can allow you to be more focused on what you can control. Because honestly, like, that's kind of what gives me anxiety. Like, things not going the way that I want them to go, and feeling like it's my fault or that I need to get it back on track, when in reality, it's not up to me. It's up to the universe or whatever factor of control there is. So acknowledging that you only have control over yourself can relieve some of the stress of feeling that need of control, and can help you focus deeper on yourself and taking steps to get to where you want to go, or get to the solution that you want to get to, because only you can get yourself there. Okay, with that, let's move on to number 7. Number 7. This is the 7th positive affirmation in the positive affirmation video. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Today, in this moment, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Now, a lot of you just tuned out to that. And before I would have too, and maybe this is like an extreme saying, because maybe you're not feeling good today. But that doesn't mean that your sadness is invalid, or your hurt is invalid, your depression or anything going on to you is invalid. That is not what that means. However, this kind of goes along with the last one. You cannot be anything without choosing to be that. And that means that you cannot be happy without choosing to be happy. And I'm not saying that you are choosing to be sad, because who would choose to be sad? But sometimes being sad and wallowing in our sadness is the easiest option. And sometimes it's the option that presents itself to us first, and we take it. And maybe we sit in it for a long time, and, that's just what happens. But, you're totally allowed to feel your sadness, because sadness is a human emotion. But at some point, you do have to choose to be happy, and you have to choose joy. People tend to look at happy people, or people that seem to be happy, and think, I wish I could be happy, or wow, they must have such an awesome life. But one, sometimes the people that you see that are happy are not really happy all the time. And two, people are not happy all the time because they have a good life. Happy people are happy because they choose to be happy. There's really, like, honestly 2 ways to look at life in most situations, and that is pessimistically or optimistically. There's the skeptics that say there's a realistic view, but you can't predict what's going to happen, you know? So you may think that what you're thinking is realistic, but on that same vein, you could just be being pessimistic and picking the worst possible thing to happen because you think that's your reality. Or vice versa with optimism. You may think the greatest thing is going to happen because you're an optimistic person. Now, that doesn't mean to think the greatest thing is going to happen all the time. But that does mean that when you look at your life, you can choose to look at all the negatives and think of all the bad things in your life, or you can choose to look at the good things in your life. Because truthfully, if you are not in a third world warring country and having your rights stripped away from you and being sent into war at some ridiculous young age, or just simply if you are alive, there is something good going on in your life. And you can take pride in that. Just simply the fact that you are alive can be what makes you happy, because there are people out there not doing as well as you are. And that doesn't mean the secret to happiness is comparing yourself to somebody else's sadness. It just means that it's about perspective. What you are sitting in your sadness about, somebody wishes that they had, and vice versa. What somebody else has and hates, you could very well love that thing and strive for that. So it's cliche, but it's really all about counting your blessings and looking at the things in your life positively, and that's how you can be happy. Not that I know the secret to being happy or anything, but you can get closer to happiness by looking at the good things. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to number 8. This is the 8th positive affirmation in this positive affirmation video. This one's number 8. I believe I can do anything. I believe that I can do anything. I believe that I can do anything. For me, this isn't saying that, you know, I can be a superhero or I can have magical powers or something. Well, that would be awesome. Um, it's just about having a positive mindset, kind of. Again, if you don't think, if you think that you suck, you're going to believe that. But on the other end, if you think that you are amazing, then you will believe that. You you can't obtain something without thinking that it's possible. You're not going, it just makes obvious, like there's miracles and things that happen without our knowing. But if there's something that you want to go after and you want to obtain, you're not going to get there by thinking that you can't. You have to think that you can in order to get there. Negative thinking and beating ourselves up. Wow, I need to eat. Negative thinking and beating ourselves up is not going to get us any closer to our dreams, and it's not going to help us in any way. Now, we do need to hold ourselves accountable, and we need to, you know, again, be realistic, but being realistic does not mean being negative. If you truly set your mind to it and you truly believe in yourself that you can do something, you can do anything. We have such a long time span that anything is obtainable if you really put your mind to it. And that also sounds cliche, but a lot of times people think things are unobtainable because they can't attain it the way that it's been attained. You can, and they think that you can't do something because you want to do it in this certain way. Anything is possible, but you must also be flexible, you know? Like, a lot of reasons people think that things are unattainable is because they want to attain them at a certain age. They want to do it before they're 30. They want to do it before they have kids. They want to do it before this. They want to, they want to enjoy it in their youth. But if you truly want something and it means that much to you, then you can't put a timeline on it, because that's not being flexible, you know? You could be 75 and maybe that's when you attain your dream, but you still did. So you believe that you can do anything, and then you can. You believe you can do anything, and then you work towards that. And then that's how you get things, and that's how you get things. That's okay. And on to number 9. This is the 9th positive affirmation in the positive affirmation video. This one right here is number 9. This is the 9th one. Every thought we think is creating our future. Every thought we think is creating our future. Now, to me, that means that, kind of like what they say, you think it, you can achieve it. It really goes with the last one again. But this is also like needs to be thought about in the negative sense. When you are constantly thinking bad things about yourself, or that bad things are going to happen, you are, I believe in like attracting and like manifestation and that, but not everyone does. So like, even if you don't believe in that, if you are thinking bad things about yourself, you're going to think those things are real. If that makes sense. Like, if the only thoughts about yourself that you have are negative, then your perception of yourself is going to be negative. There's no getting around that. You have to, like, if you think good things about yourself, then you will have a good perception of yourself. I mean, that's really like what it comes down to. I don't want to repeat anything that I just said, but what you think turns into what you do, and then what you do turns into what you are. So if you think negatively, you're going to act negatively, and then you're going to be negative. In turn, if you think positively, you're going to be positive, and you will be positive. You're going to do positive things, and you're going to be positive. It's very easy because sometimes we have subconscious thoughts, and that causes us to think that we have no control over that, and we don't have control over our thoughts, but we do. And our thoughts are very important, because how you perceive yourself, that's in your head. The way you perceive yourself, while it can become outward, it starts off on the inside. It starts up here and in your heart. So you gotta start thinking of yourself positively to have a positive perception of yourself, in the same way as you looking at your life positively to have a positive outlook. It's the same thing. You have to look for the positive things that you like about yourself and that you think are good in order to be happy. That's, yeah, those two last ones kind of went together, so. And this one is the 10th positive affirmation in this positive affirmation video. This is number 10, 10. This is the 10th positive affirmation in this positive affirmation video, in this positive affirmation time, positive affirmation. I will survive. You will survive. We will survive. And one more time. I will survive. And that, to me, is meant for people in difficult situations, people with anxiety, people that are just having a really rough time. And I will survive is that you are where you are right now. You have gone through everything that you've gone through previously to get to this point. I guarantee you that there are times when you thought that something was hard, whether it was a breakup, whether somebody left you, you got fired and you had to find a job, you had a hard assignment, anything that was personally hard to you, you got through it. And that got you to where you are today. And that means that the things that you are faced with today, you will also overcome. You would not get through those situations that you've been through before if you were not you. And the same way that you are yourself is the same way that you will get through the situations that you're going through right now or in the future. You have worked very hard to get through those situations that you were in, and you'll do the same to get through the one that you're in right now. You got through those, so you'll get through this. And that brings me to this kind of little bonus positive affirmation. So I won't call it 11, but I'll just call it a bonus information in this positive affirmation video. This is the bonus affirmation in the positive affirmation video. And it is that everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end. Let's just say that one more time. Everything will be okay. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. I take that as things may be bad in one situation, but it will end. Everything has an end. There is nothing in life that does not have an end. maybe it's a long time from now, not necessarily this bad situation, but just anything. But at some point, it will come to an end. And if you're going through a rough time right now, that also means that that will end too. And yeah, like all bad times end. No, nothing bad goes on forever. It will come to an end at some point. And as humans, all we need to do is take take some comfort in that, knowing that it will end at some point. Now, you or I may not know when that's going to end, but feel good that it will come, it will end. And a good time will start. So, those are just some things that, one, I needed to tell myself, and hopefully that you can tell yourself when you need it, and hopefully my like relatably, whatever, what I was, my explanations of them in my own words, hopefully was able to help you in some kind of way. Because, sometimes it's just nice for it to be broken down in a way that can be personal. And I think those positive affirmations work the best when you have some kind of personal attachment to it and you can truly know what it means to you. So, you don't have to take what I say verbatim, but hopefully that made those positive affirmations a little bit more easily digestible for you to use in your own life. So, yeah, feels weird saying this after being so intimate with you guys, but if you liked the video, give it a like. If you have any comment or suggestions, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Honestly, if you guys have anything to say, like your own positive affirmation that you think would help somebody or help me, please put it down there, because you never know. It could help somebody. And if you like this and you want to see future videos from me, consider subscribing. This has been Kale ASMR, and I hope you guys have a wonderful whatever time of the day it is where you are. Okay. Peace.